Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, well done for clicking on this video. I know it's quite different to the stuff I usually do on this channel. But a quick explanation. Basically, I have several hobbies and interests, one of which is geography, like flags and maps. Another one is football, and another one is languages. And some other things that I'm really interested in are space, which is something that I'm thinking about exploring on this channel, talking about the planets and whether life can exist outside of our solar system or within our solar system on moons or other planets. And one thing that I'm really niche kind of curious about, and have been for a really long time, partly because of the influence of my grandmother, is the paranormal. I used to watch all these programs like, what was it called? Like, Unsolved Mysteries and all those ones. Anyway, I thought it would be a really fun idea, because it's using a map after all, so it's kind of appropriate for the channel. I thought, hey, I've been doing this for like however many years, I've been doing it 8 years now, let's do something really different. And let's do a little look at the most haunted places in the USA using Google Maps. I'm going to be flicking back and forth some info that I've been looking up. I'm not sure we'll get through all 10 haunted places, but you never know. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to read a little bit about each one, flip back to Google Earth, and have a little look at the different places. Does that sound a little bit fun? As long as the video is relaxing, that's all that matters, really. Okay, so let's have a little fun. I'm doing this video around Halloween as well, so it's kind of appropriate for that. It would have been smarter if I released it on Halloween, but hey. Okay, top haunted locations in the US. Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A former prison, known for its history of solitary confinement and brutal punishments. Visitors report shadowy figures and disembodied voices. Okay, so then we're going to flick back to here. I've already plugged this particular one in. So, we can see the US, and we know that we're going down here. So it's actually, if we zoom out, we can see that we're quite close to the border with New Jersey here on the river. That's New Jersey, isn't it? If I get my American geography correct. I can't see where it says. Anyway. So yeah, zooming back in. So obviously, absolutely massive building. And very impressive structure. We'll read a little bit more about its structure in a second. So it says, this is a former American prison in Philadelphia. It is located in the Fairmount section of the city and was operational from 1829 until 1971, so before even I was born. I mean, there's a pretty foreboding first image. There's another one coming up that I've taken a cheeky look at. Oh, this is cool. Okay, we can read this. Thank you to Farmer Club. Eastern State Penitentiary. The Eastern State Penitentiary is a former American prison located on Fairmount Avenue between Corinthian Avenue and North 22nd Street in the Fairmount section of Philly, and was operational until 1971. The penitentiary refined the revolutionary system of separate incarceration, first pioneered at the Walnut Street Jail, which emphasized principles of reform rather than punishment. Notorious criminals such as bank robber Willie Sutton and Al Capone were held inside its unique wagon wheel design. When the building was erected, it was the largest and most expensive public structure ever constructed, quickly becoming a model for more than 300 prisons worldwide. And there's a couple of... oh god, that one. That was really spooky. If I'm led to understand it correctly, I think there are certain sections that you can perhaps even stay in, because being haunted is quite marketable nowadays. Many of the places I've looked up in this list are now hotels that exploit the fact that they have a reputation for being haunted. I'll tell you at some point, maybe not in today's video, if this video does well enough. I don't suspect it will. This is for the niche of a niche. See, that looks very serene. Would that be maybe part of the museum? I think it's a museum as well. I'll tell you how I became interested in the paranormal at some point. It's to do with a house that I lived in when I was a child, and as I hinted at earlier, my grandmother and her experiences as well. It's almost a ramble in itself, that video, so I won't interrupt this one. I mean, it's not inside, but outside is a very beautiful structure, actually. Many of these buildings that we're going to see today are. Look at that, that's the US rate of incarceration. And that's that. So that is the Eastern State Penitentiary. Let's see if the article will just tell us a little bit more about it. There's a Wikipedia article, actually. I don't think we'll bother reading that. I wanted something a bit more gossipy. Unless AI mode will help us. Okay, so the self-guided Voices of Eastern State tour, narrated by Steve Buscemi, is included with daytime admission. Oh my god, they've spent money on him. It features historical accounts and experiences of former prisoners and staff. There are 45-minute tours led by an educator, which are available once daily at weekdays at noon and on weekends at 11 AM. Booking online is recommended. They do mini tours, and they do exhibits and installations as well. Exhibits on this history, the evolution of the criminal justice system, contemporary issues of mass incarceration. So, overcrowding. By the early 1900s, the solitary system collapsed due to severe overcrowding. The prison began operating as a congregate facility before closing permanently in 1971. Okay, it's quite a creepy place, isn't it? Okay, speaking of creepy, let's go to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, which, for all you Stephen King fans, this hotel is said to be haunted by its former owners and is the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. Okay, so that's Stanley Hotel, Estes Park. I wonder how quickly, yeah, you came up straight away. Okay, so we're going out over the other end of the country. Oh, it's very grand. Look at the gardens outside. Okay, so that is in, you said it was in California. Oh no, it's in Colorado, excuse me. So it's right, just at the foot of the mountains. Right as the plains of the Great Plains end, and the mountains of Colorado, New Mexico, and Wyoming start. Okay, so the Stanley Hotel, which is a 140-room Georgian Revival hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, about 5 miles from the entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park. It includes a restaurant, spa, bed and breakfast with panoramic views of Lake Estes, the Rockies and Long's Peak. I'm ashamed to say I've never seen The Shining, but I've obviously seen clips. Oh my goodness, look at the view. That's incredible. We'll read it. Oh yes, the carpet and everything. They haven't changed the style of it, have they? It's still very age appropriate. They haven't modernised it too much. There is a certain charm in that, to be fair. Oh, and they've recognised it in the foyer. Stephen King's The Shining at the Stanley Hotel. Oh yeah, that's quite interesting, that room, that hallway. You can see the Rockies in the background. And that's Mr. Stanley himself in 1928. Okay, let's see if we can find out a little bit more info on this. I think this time I'm going to read the Wikipedia account. It says that the Stanley Hotel served as an inspiration for the Overlook Hotel in Stephen King's novel and film adaptation. It was also a filming location for the related 1997 TV miniseries. Okay, so there was a gas leak and explosion injuring a maid. 8 people were injured, 1 seriously, none of the guests were injured. I wonder if it's going to tell us any. The lodge, the concert hall, hedge maze. So yeah, The Shining. While we were living in Boulder, we heard about this terrific old mountain resort hotel and decided to give it a try, but when we arrived, they were just getting ready to close for the season, and we found ourselves the only guests in the place, with all those long, empty corridors. King and his wife were served dinner in an empty dining room, accompanied by canned orchestral music. Except for our table, all the chairs were up on the tables, so the music was echoing down the hall, and I mean, it was like God had put me there to hear that and see those things. And by the time I went to bed that night, I had the whole book, The Shining, in my mind. King said, I dreamed of my 3-year-old son running through the corridors, looking back over his shoulder, eyes wide, screaming. He was being chased by a fire hose. I woke up with a tremendous jerk, sweating all over. Within an inch of falling out of bed, I got up, lit a cigarette, sat in a chair looking out the window at the Rockies, and by the time the cigarette was out, I had the bones of The Shining firmly set in my mind. Room 217 at the Overlook Hotel features significantly in The Shining. The room with the same number at the Stanley is alleged to have been the one offered to Stephen King during his 1974 stay. It is one of the best in the house by all accounts. Despite a peaceful early history in recent decades thanks to The Shining, the Stanley Hotel has gained a reputation as a setting for paranormal activity. It has hosted numerous paranormal investigators and appeared in shows such as Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. Okay. Where to next? Myrtles Plantation. This one freaked me out. Okay, often called one of America's most haunted homes, with legends of multiple murders and a variety of apparitions. Let's read a little bit about it first. It is a historic plantation in St. Francisville, known for its historical architecture and paranormal legends, which have made it a popular tourist attraction and the subject of numerous media features. The plantation is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It is famously associated with many ghost stories and paranormal activity, which has led to appearances in various books, magazines and television shows. It remains a popular tourist destination because of this. Numerous ghost stories and legends are associated with the property, including tales of the ghost of an enslaved woman named Chloe and the spirits of the Woodruff children who reportedly appear in an antique mirror. These stories are often the focus of the evening mystery tours offered to guests. It was built in 1796 by General David Bradford, and the property was originally a 600-acre indigo and cotton plantation named Laurel Grove. The plantation's early history involved the forced labour of enslaved people. While the ghost stories have dominated the narrative, recent analysis highlights the need to acknowledge the difficult history and the lives of the enslaved individuals who lived and worked there. It's been renovated. They renamed it the Myrtles after the numerous crepe myrtles on the grounds. Okay, let's take a look at it. Actually, no, that's fine. I did, when I took a look at this place, I was a little, let's say, horrified by the fact that after what's happened there, it's now this like fancy hotel. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So the Myrtles, I'm pretty sure it's the right one. Let's double check, otherwise I'll look like in St. Francisville, Louisiana. Just double check. St. Francisville, Louisiana, yes. So, come back. So let's just check where we are. And we're right by the Mississippi. In the Homochito National Forest, coming down to Baton Rouge, before you get to Prairieville and out to New Orleans. Lafayette is just down there. And to the north, what can we see? Shreveport, much further north. The building itself, you can't see from that angle, is very impressive. The Myrtles Plantation is a historic home and former antebellum plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, United States, built in 1796 by General David Bradford. In the early history of the property, it was worked by enslaved people. It was reportedly a haunted place. Oh, it is reportedly a haunted place and has been featured on television. Regardless, as it's stated in that article, which I thought was very poignant, regardless of whether it's haunted or not, I would not stay here purely due to its history. I mean, there's a really nice bathroom shot coming up soon. Where is it? I'll go back through these. Oh, I can't see it now. Oh, maybe it's on. Oh, it's weird. The pictures are different when I looked at it earlier on. Anyway, there was this, similar to this, there's this beautiful bathroom and the bath is there. And I was thinking, how could you lounge around and take a bath when you know what's happened here in history? Regarding its plantation, obviously, the fact there was a plantation. The building itself, the structure is absolutely beautiful. That is creepy. That is very creepy. The trellis, or whatever you call it, is absolutely stunning. Fair play, the building is beautiful, but yeah. Oh, ducks. Absolutely love ducks. It's beautifully decorated inside as well. That must be with the ducks, perhaps. Should we do one more? So that was the Myrtles in Louisiana. Okay. The Winchester Mystery House, San Jose, California, a mansion with a bizarre design, built by the widow of William Wirt Winchester, who believed she was being haunted by the ghosts of those killed by her family's rifles. I don't know much about guns, but I've heard a little bit about Winchester rifles. So the Winchester Mystery House is there. We'll take a look at it on the other platform in a moment. This is Sarah Winchester, born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut. She was called Sally by people closest to her. She married William Wirt Winchester in 1862. She lost her child. She developed rheumatoid arthritis. And skim reading, let's see. The house renovation, features of the house. It is a bizarre house. So the windows are unusual since they are pastel coloured, asymmetrical in their design and have sharp bevels. The windows in the upper levels had a spider web tracery, a popular design then. The windows to the right and left of the brick fireplace feature Shakespearean quotations from Richard II and Troilus and Cressida. It has been claimed by tour guides and articles over the years that the windows were made by Tiffany & Co., despite the fact that the company rarely used beveled glass. I wonder if it'll say it elsewhere, but basically there's like, because the house took so long to make... Oh yeah, hang on, this is it. Winchester would take breaks from construction on a regular basis to rest, sometimes for months, since she tired easily. It slowed construction considerably and is counter to the claims made in articles and by tour guides that she had the house under construction around the clock for 38 years until her death in 1922. And its largest, the house had approximately 500 rooms. And apparently, because it was under this constant state of construction and change, there are like doors that open just into brick walls and staircases that go up and don't go anywhere. There's just the top of the staircase and it's just a wall. It's very odd just to wander around it. So it said, the first tour guide of the house was Mame Brown. Past neighbours, friends and workers for Winchester were distressed when they read about superstitious claims being made about the house and Winchester, and were upset the Browns were making money from falsehoods. Because they were impressed by its unusual layout and architectural novelties. So the story has been embellished over the years by various rumours, hyperbole and myths, and popular writers have misrepresented or invented details about the house in its own way in order to enhance the legend. She believed that she would have bad luck if the construction would stop. She believed she would die if construction would stop. Labyrinth construction, yeah, look at this, it's just like staircases and staircases everywhere. The belief that Winchester built a house in its strange maze-like manner to confuse and keep spirits from harming her, and that her sanity was questionable, started mid-1890s and has grown in scale since her death. The doors and windows that open to nothing, the unusually shallow stairs, the stairs that end in a ceiling, interior barred windows and trapdoors in the floor are used to confirm Winchester's spirituality and poor state of mind. According to paranormal investigators Nicola and Ignoffo, these house oddities have simple explanation. The barred windows were previously exterior windows blocked off as the house additions grew. The doors and windows that opened to nothing resulted from the earthquake in 1906 and the severe damage that happened to the house. The small steps were built because of Winchester's declining health. The trapdoors were constructed in a greenhouse room where excess water could run and be piped to an outdoor garden. After the damage from the earthquake, Winchester did not rebuild the house. The tower bell was used to call workmen and to serve as a fire alarm on the property, according to Joe Nicol. Fanciful claims later arose that it was used to summon spirits. Ghostly music. Joe Nicol claims that local residents heard ghostly music coming from the house, which is explained by the fact that Winchester often played the pump organ in the grand ballroom when she was unable to sleep. At the turn of the 20th century, the most common belief regarding Winchester's house building was that she felt tremendously guilty, resulting from all the deaths caused by Winchester rifles and from inheriting so much money from the arms company. Ignoffel claims that it is unlikely Winchester had any guilt, since in the 1800s the Winchester Repeating Arms Company was seen as a success, and weapons were viewed as a necessity for survival. Nevertheless, the story persists today. According to law, architectural features such as 13 bedrooms, 13 bathrooms and 13 windows in certain rooms are due to Winchester's apparent fascination with the number 13. It's my favourite number too. Okay, let's check out where it is. Actually, what's the name of it again? Winchester Mystery House. And it's going to be located in San Jose, California. Winchester Mystery House. Winchester Mystery House. Winchester Mystery House South. Winchester Boulevard, San Jose, California. So we've been right over the United States today. Yes. I also read that I think it's been blurred out on Google. Although this is just playing up. Let me pause it. Hang on. This is the one I read, that basically you can't see from the side on Google Images. It might be this one, or Nicolas Cage owned one and he went bankrupt. Which one was that? Oh no, that's the Lizzie Borden house, I think. Yeah, there's another one that basically Nicolas Cage was the owner of for a brief spell recently, but then went bankrupt, which I didn't realise Nick Cage was bankrupt. The Winchester Mystery House is a mansion in San Jose, California that was once personal residence of Sarah Winchester, the widow of firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester. The house became a tourist attraction 9 months after Winchester's death in 1922. I mean, it's an absolutely stunning building again, isn't it? That room with the glass ceiling is stunning. So many different things going on. It must be very difficult to keep clean and wash windows and... Oh my goodness, that is the creepiest room ever though. That's where she used to play the organ. In the middle of the night. But the house itself is absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness, that is creepy. It's funny, like how small that room is when you consider how much space the house has in general. It's beautiful. Well, there we are then. Those are some of the most haunted places in the US. I really hoped you enjoyed this little trip around America with me, looking at some of the most haunted destinations in the United States. But more than that, I hope this video was nice and relaxing. Looking at it with a sort of very open mind and pinch of salt, as they say. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope it was interesting and a little bit different to what we usually do on this channel. It was fun for me to do something out of the ordinary. If you have any suggestions of other videos, either a second version of this video with other places I could visit, or something a little bit different and wacky that I could try on this channel, then let me know, and leave that in a comment whilst you're leaving your like, subscribing if you're new to the channel, and joining me on Patreon if you love what I do. Thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe. Take care. Bye 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 bye.